Right, we're ringing Colorado. Don't tell me we're not international.
Happy New Year.
Yes, a very good. Well, I can't remember what day, time, yeah, whatever is going on this morning. I'm all over the show.
This morning, this afternoon, that's crazy what Rosemary said. The Gremlins, they were just like not on our side this morning. No. It's all good.
You're looking well, though, considering you look lovely.
Well, I try.
Yeah.
I got an extra hour.
Nothing like you normally do. You look great. Anyway.
Oh, my gosh. Yay. We're here. And I get to have my dear friend Kenny Ball on today. So, Kenny, Dave, Kenny.
Morning, Kenny. How you doing, pal?
Hi. Good morning, Dave. Not bad at all.
Very good, mate. Very good. Now, obviously, you're not American. So anyone in America that needs subtitles, it's bad enough for him understanding me. It'll be dead easy understanding you for him now.
Right. We had that conversation because, you know, when I get started talking, I talk really, really fast. So I had to tell Kenny, let's slow down so we can understand because, you know, between the two of us, it might get a little crazy.
Oh, no, don't worry. I'll get the subtitles provided. I'll type away at the bottom of the screen. Well, if people are tuning in on Facebook while they're trying to see what's going on, I've just had a numpty this morning, right? You'll never believe this. I've got to give the guy's name out. Peter Simpson, he's called. He's in the north of France somewhere, and he's moaning that we're putting posts up telling people who's on the shows every day. He said it's repetitive. That I'm sending things out on Facebook telling people who are on the shows.
Well,
idiot.
Then he can stop looking at it, right?
Oh, exactly. I said to him, turn it off then, get a life and go for a walk instead of sitting there in front of your computer all day. Idiot. Anyway.
Oh, my God.
Enough of that said. That's me off my soapbox. Away you go.
Well, like I said, Happy New Year to the world. I'm excited to have Kenny here with me today, and I'll tell a little bit about how Kenny and I met over a year ago now when I started writing for this amazing magazine that Kenny has, and he's going to talk about that today, called OneTribe magazine. It's out of Scotland. So I'm not going to ruin the whole story, but Kenny, can you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Yes, well, delighted to be here, first of all, guys, and thanks for having me. I'd like to wish you and obviously all your listeners a very happy New Year and all the best for 2019. A wee bit about myself. My name's Kenny Ball. No Jasmine jokes. I've lived 56 years through them.
Do you remember Kenny Ball, the jazz musician, though, don't you?
Absolutely. I grew up being called the jazz man.
Did you? Oh, top man. So you knew it wasn't lost what I'm saying. Kenny Ball was a jazz musician when I was a kid. That's why I remember your name.
I'm a graphic designer from Glasgow in Scotland, as you probably hear by the accent. I'm also the editor and creative director of OneTribe magazine, which is a definitive style magazine for the mind, body and soul.
Nice. And that's how you and I connected. And I don't think that you and I actually ever had that conversation about you approached me and said, hey, would you want to write an article? And I think, for me, that was like, holy cow, no, but because I'm not a writer, but yes, I want to do that. So how did you find me? I guess maybe if you can remember that.
Asking back about over a year ago now, isn't it? We are now in issue 16. It's obviously been quite a fabulous journey with the magazine. We connected through our social media. I think you were putting out some really interesting posts at the time, and so I connected with yourself and invited you to write for the magazine. And the rest is history. We've been writing for the magazine ever since. And
yeah. So I want to come back and talk a little bit about how you decided you wanted to do this and those sorts of things. And I want to go to a song, but Dave hasn't told me what song's up next, what's on deck. So if Dave, you can let me know.
I love doing this. I love dropping a right in it sometimes.
I know. You do this to me. It's like I never know what to expect, and it's fantastic.
This week I'll be mostly unexpecting anything.
So we'll take a quick break, and then we'll come back after the song that Dave's going to graciously play for us.
Worldwide, online, the best radio station. You're listening to Expat Radio, your worldwide friend.
Right, we're back live with the guys this afternoon.
Fantastic. I feel like it's weird when you say afternoon and it's 4:30 in the morning.
I know. Well, you will get up in the middle of the night to do the show, won't you?
I was up at 2 and I got your message, hey, we're going to be an hour later. And I was like, I could go back to bed. Yeah. And then that just didn't happen.
Didn't it? Would have done if I was there. You'd have been back in that bed quicker. The bunk beds. Straight in there like a shot.
We're okay in Scotland. It's only late morning here.
See, you guys are like in the middle of the day and I'm like in the middle of the night. But that's okay.
It's 94 degrees here as well. In the shade.
What's that?
I said it's 94 degrees here as well in the shade.
94. Oh, my gosh. That'd be so fantastic. I don't believe you, Dave.
I know you don't. Sat in the greenhouse doing the show, that's why. You want to get some of these Veluxes, they're great. Keep you warm. Don't have to pay an electric bill then. Anyway, away to you two.
Yes, welcome back. We have Kenny Ball here today from OneTribe magazine, and we're going to talk about all things magazine, all things OneTribe, and I really want to just sort of, hear from you. I like to help people tell their stories and help people inspire others, heal themselves, those sorts of things. That's how I find OneTribe magazine writing for them. So when you were thinking about this, like kind of what is your story around why you wanted to start this magazine?
Oh, the question of why, one of the hardest questions. It's just, I believe, we do live in a world with so much human potential, but it's never been so disconnected through social and political divisions that we're seeing nowadays. So the main purpose of OneTribe magazine was to try and change this a cultural shift towards this disconnection and help readers who are struggling to join up the dots to create a pathway to joyful, rewarding and fulfilled life. So basically it was all about connection as a crucial building block to humanity. I believe it's our responsibility to take care of one another in a way that enables everyone to feel that connection by thinking of we instead of me, and that's why OneTribe, came to the fore, because regardless of who you are, where you're from, what you are, where we should be thinking as we instead of me, with love and passion.
Yeah.
So that's basically the spirit that fuels OneTribe, and that's is echoed by all the writings and the authors from all over the world. We have people writing from the African nations to the States to Europe. So it's pretty phenomenal how so many people of different cultures can come together with one voice.
Right. And how long had you had this idea?
Had the idea for a good year before I actually did anything. It's like many things in life. We have an idea and we procrastinate, and then we talk ourselves out of it. And it was my good friend and mentor Andy Ferguson who gave me the proverbial kick up the backside. And within a month of that meeting, we had the first issue in circulation. Obviously, I know starting a new magazine was a worry, where are the contributors going to come from, etc. But I'm contacting my first potential author, a chap called Steve Carr, a very motivational chap from England. He had an article to me within the hour, and that sort of just set the tone. There's absolutely no need to worry. This is going to be special.
Yeah. He was a good one to start with. I know Steve. He's pretty fantastic man.
He certainly is. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to try to get him on the show. So I guess my question is like, when you have this idea, so you do it all, right? You do all of the designing and the editing, and you do it all. You're a one-man show, right?
I'm a one-man show, yes.
and you were doing a different job at the same time, correct? You had two jobs?
Yes, I had my art design company, which was Agency Scotland. What I've since done is changed the brand. So I've now got the magazine, which is OneTribe magazine, and I now have OneTribe Media, which provides graphic design, WordPress websites for clients, predominantly within the likes of the personal development industries as the target audience.
Awesome. So we're going to take another quick break, and when we come back, I want to jump a little bit into some of the mindset behind your world and the magazine, and we're going to go listen to Living in a Box, about Bring the House Down, Blow the House Down. Gosh, I'm going to blow this radio show up for you.
Right, we're back live with the guys this morning, afternoon or evening, wherever you are in the world at the moment. I can never get... I was just going to say, I'm having a nightmare with the time zones at the moment.
Yeah?
Yeah, well, I get people messaging me from Kuala Lumpur at daft o'clock. And I'm like,
you're a popular chap.
Yeah, well, we get, you wouldn't believe the messages, right, we get from Kuala Lumpur, Burma, Brunei, Kazakhstan. I'm getting things from all over but one of them I got in, well, I don't even know what they're at. It's like Hindi writing. I haven't got a clue what it was.
Oh my goodness.
Could have been anything.
I was just thinking, if Rosemary's still listening, I think next week she should talk about like getting rid of the gremlins for the show. Like, I feel like I couldn't even get that song out of my pie hole this morning. Like, what is going on?
I know. I know. It's one of those that, when you have, we were both laughing, you see, when we were trying to sort this issue out on Skype. And we're laughing while we're trying to sort the problem out. There was chaos. Her PA is in the background in the office trying to sort it out, and she's laughing at him. The guy's having a heart attack trying to get her connected to me, you see. And everything was going pear-shaped, and he's like, oh, you can hear him swearing and kicking off and panicking. She's saying, calm down, don't worry, it'll be all right. Poor bugger's nearly he's probably in accident and emergency now, having a defibrillator put on his chest.
Oh, my God.
Yeah.
Gosh, well, we carry on and we prevail, we adapt and overcome. So we're going to jump into mindset with Kenny Ball from OneTribe magazine this morning. So, Kenny, tell us about the moment you knew you really wanted to publish this magazine.
Well, I'm one of the many consumers in that billion-dollar personal development industry of books. I've been an avid reader for in excess of 25 years. Mm-hmm. And I did find that there was a lack of, not sort of short stories, but there wasn't really a magazine out there that sufficed for male and female. Like there is one there with a female bias, but I felt like there wasn't one that covered everyone. Mm-hmm. So that was one of the initial thoughts to create the magazine.
Yeah. Do you feel like you wanted to have people share their own personal stories in the magazine versus like a self-help how-to book?
Yes, it's a bit of both. It's a good combination. What we have is we've got people who've come through very traumatic things in their life and come out the other side and are now rising stars and things like that as well, who can share their stories. And so if other people out there are going through anything similar, they can see there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Right.
We've also got some new thought leaders who've got processes, for it can be anything from from journal writing all the way through, just various things that can help people get through the sort of daily grind.
Right. Very, very cool. So what would you say was the largest challenge for you in making the decision to start this endeavor?
Well, I think that's quite easy for myself. That was that was moving from the procrastination state to actually taking action. You know, as I said earlier, I'd been thinking about it for a year, and thinking doesn't do it. It's just an excuse not to take action. So, again, earlier, as I said, once Andy gave me that push, it was a way racy, shall we say?
Right.
One of the challenges obviously was being a new magazine, where you would get the authors from and all that. But again, as I said earlier, it's once I started putting the feelers out there, everyone was so nice and so accommodating and just wanting to be part of the tribe, and it's just been fabulous.
Yeah, that's awesome. So along those lines, you know, what support meant the most to you beginning your journey with this magazine?
It's not like a speech here, but obviously I have to, my family, who's obviously running the two jobs, being the magazine and the design company, took me off the scene for quite long hours. They were great and very supportive. Andy Ferguson, who's been really instrumental in the OneTribe concept as well. And all those amazing writers who continue to contribute their time and support. Obviously, there wouldn't be the OneTribe and the magazine without them. Another sort of keynote to put in here, the OneTribe, although started as a magazine, has developed into quite a community, whereas there's lots of things happening outwards the magazine. There's lots of friendships being forged between authors and things like that. So there's a lot of cross-pollination between quite a lot of people out there.
Yeah, that connection piece is huge. I've experienced that myself within the authors and the community that you've created, which is amazing. So there's, I love to help people discover their stories and those sorts of things. Are people now, reaching out to you saying, hey, I want to write for your magazine, or are you still approaching people?
It's a bit of both. I still engage with prospective authors via the social platforms as I search on the internet, and if someone resonates with me, I will make contact with them and have a conversation, introduce the OneTribe magazine and the community. And on the other hand, we have writers who are recommended to OneTribe from via friends and family. And will approach us and ask to write for the magazine.
Yeah. So who is your ideal writer, if you have such a thing?
I think key to being an ideal writer is authenticity. So if you've got an authentic person with a story to share that can inspire others through any difficult times. And obviously new thought leaders with new processes for people to try out. It's one of those things not everything will resonate with everyone. That's why the community and the writers are so diverse. You might go through the magazine one month, maybe 24 stories in it, and half of them could resonate with you. But as I've always said, if we help one person that month, we have done our job.
Right. I love that about you and your outlook on how you do this. And I know that you and I and a couple of other people have been, sort of having conversations about, where we want to go and help you go with this magazine and this idea of media. And so after our next song, I'm going to come back and talk a little bit about where it's going and a couple other follow-up questions. And we're going to go and listen to Delamitri, Roll to Me.
Right, we're going back live to Christine into Kenny, our special guest this morning, afternoon or evening. We're going back live to Scotland and Colorado this morning. Glasgow and Colorado.
It is a very, very short song.
Very. Flipping out, they didn't even break breath. I don't think they breathed in for the second verse.
No. And I was like, this is awesome. We're just going to roll with it. Like, this is the perfect song. And I was like, oh my gosh, it's already over. So this is fantastic.
They must have had, I reckon the band had cramp while they were recording that, and they've said, look, lads, we can't go for a full 4-minute song here. Just do 2 minutes, and that'll do us.
Yes, probably long.
God save the Queen.
Millions of times throughout, and I actually didn't know who sang that, so now I know.
The Scottish, especially for Kenny, that was why.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome, pal.
I love the accommodation, Dave. I love it. It's fantastic. And I'm super excited.
I try and accommodate as many things as I possibly can. You know that.
I know you do. I do.
I get myself in trouble for it, but you know that.
So I'm here with Kenny Ball today, and he is the editor of OneTribe Media, which has OneTribe magazine. And so we just have I have a few more questions for you, and then we're going to talk about how people can get a hold of you, where they can read this fantastic publication, and then what's next. So one of my questions that I'm always curious about when I talk with people is, once you started this, have you ever wanted to quit?
Absolutely not. The magazine is just such a joy to work on. It's the actual engaging with so many awesome people from around the world. It's actually at the end of a busy day, it's very therapeutic. I find to work on the magazine. Reading your stories as you're formatting them and putting them into design layers. So would I have ever thought of quitting? No. It's just, as I say, it's almost hobby-like, you know what I mean? I just love doing it, so.
Yeah, that's fantastic. I think sometimes people, I had a musician on a few weeks ago, and I asked him, when you were first starting out and you were like doing, going through the motions and doing your deal, did you ever want to quit? And he actually said yes a few times, just because the challenges were so hard for him, and he didn't, which was great. So I love asking that question, and I appreciate your authentic answer. So what or who inspires you the most, and why?
If I look back from my readings over the years, my favourite teachings are from Wayne Dyer. One of his sayings that I've always lived by is, it's never crowded along the extra mile. And I've tried to live my life by this. I've always delivered in the services as a graphic designer, whether it be self-employed or employed. It's one simple statement, and it just means so much. It's never crowded along the extra mile, and you always find that to be the case.
Yeah, I love that. That's so amazing. And then along those same lines, this is probably a pretty loaded question, but I ask everyone that comes on my show, what scares you the most and why?
Well, first of all, I would say ignorant people, who justify the social injustice and inequality. Through twisted belief systems. No one's life matters less because they have less. I think that people should realise that. And I think, and the other thing, being Scottish is the infamous Scottish midget. It's minuscule in stature, but the bite of the female midget is enough to announce its presence. So if you've ever walked in Scotland, you'll know exactly what I mean. They just attack you in black clouds and bite you without mercy. So yeah, the Scottish midget scares the hell out of me.
Well, I'm gonna have to.
If you're out walking.
Well, when I come and visit, I'll definitely do my research before I.
You'll love it there.
So.
You'll love it over there. Honest to God, I lived up there for it's nearly 12 months. I was in East Kilbride. Absolutely loved. The only thing was I didn't see the sun. Now the thing is that sundials were never invented in Scotland. That's how they told the time for hundreds of years before a watch was invented. I've no idea because. You can't.
I read Billy Connolly's book recently, and he's got a quote in it and saying that there's no such thing as bad weather, only the wrong type of clothing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Quote of the day, that one.
There you go, quote of the day. So, Kenny, can you tell us like your definition of the difference between bravery and courage?
Oh, well, I suppose for me, bravery would be the ability to face your shadows, and courage would be when you've got the strength to get out of your own way and stop sabotaging your own life.
That's beautiful. That's a great way to describe it. I dig that. So tell us what's next for OneTribe.
Well, we're always looking to expand on the tribe. You know, what I would love to do is travel out to visit the wonderful writers and their locations and share their experiences with the readers. You know, we are pretty nomadic. And the magazine can be produced anywhere where it's a Wi-Fi access. So I would love to travel with the magazine and visit the authors. I would also love to have the magazine as a print edition on the shelves and newsstands in the future.
Yeah.
I think it deserves a place on there.
Yeah, I know that you and I have talked about that with our small group of people and really sort of pushing that in the next few months. And are you currently looking for contributors and authors?
Yes, always on the lookout for a good story. So if anyone has anything they'd like to contribute to the magazine, they can contact us via the website. There's that'd be a good place to start. They can join the mailing list and receive a free digital copy. And they can also email me as well.
Yeah, and that's OneTribe Magazine.
OneTribeMagazine.com. And if you want to email, it's just simply Kenny@OneTribeMagazine.com, or even their own name at OneTribeMagazine.com.
And that's fantastic. That's fantastic. And so, what's next for you? I know that the magazine is pretty much your life, but what's next for you besides traveling to all these amazing places and doing this with the authors?
Well, I would love OneTribe Magazine to be my full-time job. I would love to be able to just focus on it full-time for the not just the production and the marketing. As I said before, traveling, meeting authors, sharing experiences, and building the community, and just seeing how we go from there.
Right, and you have big plans potentially for your website, right?
Yes, the website is under construction, and again done by yours truly. So it's taking a wee bit of time because it's just lack of. But yes, that's going to come together. It's going to have all the previous published stories in it from all the authors. It'll have links to all the authors so people can go and explore further with any particular writer who resonates with them. And they can then contact them. And there'll be lots more sort of video and audio and things like that on the website as well.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Any questions for me? Do you have any other thoughts that you want to share with the world while we have some attention?
Yes, well, as a regular contributor to our magazine and to the OneTribe community, what value do you personally get out of it?
Oh, the tables have turned. I love this question. I think for me, when I first started, you and I had that conversation about when you said, would you write an article? And I thought to myself, I'm not a writer. Like, I have dyslexia. I have all these things that, was really sort of mentally blocking me. And you're like, no, you have some good content. You should just give it a shot. And so that having that support from, you and the other members has really helped me to hone in on some of the skills that I didn't even think that I had. So there's, believing in myself. And then there's also that, what you were just talking about, the therapeutic piece of writing and sharing your story and discovering your story. I've written now, I think 13-ish articles or stories, and they've gone anywhere from, how-tos to here's, something really cool that happened to sort of a story through my dog's eyes on a vacation. So it's really giving me an opportunity to just be creative. And I think that for me, and then the big one for me was the big healing piece that I did around some past trauma, which was amazing and awesome to be able to just write and then to share with a community that I knew would support me. So that's what I get out of writing. Now, there are times when I feel like I feel stuck sometimes, and I'll put something out on Facebook, and even you'll respond, and you're like, hey, how about writing about this? And I'll be like, yes, that's perfect. So just that support is really, really cool. So, yeah, I love it. It's amazing.
I think that's one of the good things about the community is it does encourage new authors. It does encourage people who've been thinking about writing as well. To give it a go and share their stories. So, yeah, we've got so many new authors coming through from India and things like that as well. So, some amazing transformational stories.
Yeah, I dig that. That's like sort of my new focus, in helping people in my coaching businesses. Those stories, it ultimately ends up coming out when we do some coaching. And so now I'm encouraging folks to write and to share and to discover. And so I think that this has just helped me, sort of hone in on what I really, really love about those connections with people and helping heal and helping celebrate and all those wonderful things that happen in life. So I can't thank you enough for being here today with us. It's been amazing, even though we had some gremlins in the beginning, as Rosemary said. Dave, anything else for Kenny before we part?
No, I just want to wish him all the best for the new year, and I hope it's a great one for him.
Yeah.
And to you, Dave, and the show. It's pretty fantastic.
Thanks very much,
yes.
Paul. Much appreciated.
Yes. So we're going to go out with a last song. And next week we'll be back with somebody awesome as well. Curiosity Killed the Cat, Down to Earth. Happy New Year. Peace out, everyone.
Happy New Year, guys. All the best.
Happy New Year. Bye-bye.